Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon, Part 9. We're going to what I think is the next level of the game, and it's probably one of the better levels of the game that has some of my favorite music in the game. The icy level that's strangely hidden inside of this icy cave that's randomly placed in the Midday Gardens. I mean, the rest of the whole world doesn't look icy. It looks like it could be maybe the middle of spring, or possibly the summer, maybe, or the fall. But in this cave, it's all icy, and I guess that's where the peak of iciness is, which is why the next level is called the Icy Peak. That was my favorite music in the entire game, or some of my favorite music in the entire game, I think. Because it's supposed to be like an icy themed level, so it sounds like the kind of music that would fit into an icy level, an icy venue. But at the same time, it also sounds like something that would fit the surface of Mars. You know, if you're going to be traveling to Mars, that's the kind of music that would describe the Martian surface perfectly. But again, the Martian surface is pretty icy too, pretty frigid and icy, so I guess it's kind of fitting. It also reminds me of a piece of music from the original, well, not from the original, but from Wipeout Pure. This guy's saying that this level seems to be inhabited by these little white bear things that speak with New York accents. New York accents, or maybe they're New Jersey accents, or some kind of accent like that. And he says that this level's pretty much infested with Rhinox, just like any other level in this game, and they want us to come in and fry the Rhinox. And this time we get to use these things, these cannon tank things that we saw in the Zephyr level, and the Breeze Builders' levels, in the, what was that called, the Breeze Harbor in Spyro 2. Yep, it's in this game too, and we get to actually control it. Control that turret and blast enemies out of the sky. With those bird things in the sky, those vulture things, I'm not sure if they actually attack us, but they definitely count as enemies, and killing them is going to give us some more gems, which is ultimately going to contribute to our progress in the game. So we'd have to kill every enemy in this game if we were to get this game 100% complete. And more than that too, because it's possible to get this game more than 100% complete, just like Spyro 1, another one of many things this game did that was very reminiscent of the original Spyro. It's like they were longing for the days when things were better when they made the original Spyro. Remember back when we made the original Spyro? Yeah, those days were long over, but they could be back with Spyro 3. That's almost what this game seems like, considering how reminiscent it is of the first Spyro. We're gonna do some skating in this level too, some ice skating, figure skating. I think we did similar stuff to that in Spyro 2. Remember in the Metropolis level there was something like that, where we had to skate on the ice and then send those bombs back at that creature thing. I forget what it was that we had to play that sport with. And this level's somewhat similar to that, but it's mostly just this game's ice level. This isn't even the only ice level in the game. I think there's at least one other ice level. What other games? I mean, it's pretty much obligatory for all games to have at least one icy themed level in them. So I guess that's what's how Spyro 3, this is what Spyro 3 does for its icy level, the icy. It also looks like a castle too. Then again, a lot of levels in the Spyro game seem to be designed like castles. Castles are very common in Spyro. There's also a crack. This is like something out of Banjo-Kazooie. There's like a crack there. If you glide all the way to it, you can head bash to it. And you can enter this frozen ice underneath. I mean, Spyro must have skills or some kind of ability to breathe underwater, because he never seems to run out of air when he goes underwater. And you think his air would deplete faster because he's under icy water, like in Banjo-Kazooie. When they deplete their air faster and they get under the icy water. That doesn't seem to be the case here for Spyro. Spyro is, well, immune to all of this. I guess Spyro must have like an overly powerful body heater. I guess that makes sense, because Spyro can breathe fire, which fire is, contains an immense amount of heat. So I guess that without that heat source inside of him that causes him to shoot flames, I guess that's enough to keep him warm under the icy water, all that ice water, that ice, vanilla ice water. Yeah, probably it's like Vanilla Ice would just suddenly appear in this game. Start singing Ice Ice Baby, a completely meaningless song that somehow dominated all the charts. And yet the concept seems very random. Ice Ice Baby. I wonder how they came up with that. Seems like the most randomest song could ever make the top 10 chart or whatever it is. Maybe frying more of these guys. Yeah, frying everything. Oh, look, one of those things again from Spyro 2, and those rocket things where it just sends a random rocket out at some target. It's going to destroy it. We're supposed to be able to jump over there, I think, and glide over there, but there's a technique for that. And this part wasn't really much of a challenge at all. It's just blast several times. Just blast the door down or blast that hidden wall. It wasn't even really that well hidden because the use of texture is different from the rest of the wall. So it's like they, I don't know, were they supposed to be hiding that in there? I don't know. And the things that give us health in this level look like tiny little penguins. They almost look a bit like the Kid Cuisine penguin. And they also look a bit like some of the like that penguin from that movie, that short that I remember watching. What was it called? Santa versus the Snowman, I think is what it was called, or Santa and the Snowman. There was that penguin guy that ratted out the snowman when he was on that tour of Santa's village. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You guy looks like that penguin. I think this was made after Santa versus the Snowman. But this was also made after the night Santa went crazy, when Santa went ballistic and he destroyed everything. Weird Al wrote a song about that. Maybe that's why kids don't get the greatest presents anymore at Christmas time, because Santa went crazy that year. I guess that kind of explains that. And I'm actually genuinely interested in making a movie about that, the night Santa went crazy, where it's like an actual live action movie where some economic bullcrap happens that's going to put Santa and his elves out of a job. Then he goes to fight against them somehow, and somehow it results in him like, you know, going on a murderous rampage. The night Santa went crazy. I mean, my mom thought it was a really bad idea, but then again, she thinks most of my movie ideas suck. I also wanted to make a movie about that kid in Brazil that broke his Sega Dreamcast in the funniest way possible. My mom thinks it's a really bad idea. And then the kid that did that was 13 years old. The 13-year-old Brazilian kid that destroyed his Dreamcast in the most unexpected way imaginable. And a real-life friend of mine, 30-something years old, wanted to play the 13-year-old boy in that movie. I said, no. This guy looks like he's 50-something years old or 40-something years old. If you're too old to need ID when you go to the bar, then it means you're too old to play a 13-year-old boy in a movie. So no, he didn't get the part. Why would he get the part? And there's Maynard right now. It's rescuing Maynard. Yeah, I think we crave Maynards. Are Maynards still a thing? Remember they had like the Maynard's Fuzzy Peach and like the Maynards, what is there? There's the Sour Patch Kids. I remember Sour Patch Kids are known for making you constipated. At least I remember there's a kid in one of my classes used to say that a lot. Sour Patch Kids make you constipated. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if that's really the case or not about Sour Patch Kids. I haven't had Sour Patch Kids in years. I haven't had Maynards at all in years. That's why I wasn't sure if they still existed or not. Like all of our favorite foods that don't exist anymore and that just quietly disappeared without anyone noticing. I mean, there's a lot of videos on YouTube like that nowadays. And on TikTok, or not TikTok, what's it called? Instagram, where they use like, what do they call it? Where they use like AI to recreate our favorite foods. Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, it's good old nostalgic old-fashioned times again. Back when AI ruled everything. AI's always been around, and always will be around forever. It's a good thing AI doesn't seem to exist in the world of Spyro, or maybe it secretly does all along, we just never knew it. AI in the world of Spyro. I still like to kill those little penguin things because I still get health from them. And sometimes they spawn one-ups just like any other little critter that gives Spyro health. They have the potential of giving them one-ups. And we're going to be needing a lot of lives later in this game. And Moneybags just randomly hiding here. He kind of obscured himself a bit, hoping we wouldn't see him. But then he just comes out here and openly says, yeah, you have to pay me 500 gems so you could go to this sporting event that's beyond this store. Buy tickets that cost 500 gems. It's kind of a bit of a bargain, actually. Considering supposedly people pay like $1,200 to go see a game for FIFA or something like that. So I guess it's kind of a steal. But they'd probably pay more than that to go watch the Olympics live. And we're actually going to be in the Olympics.
And these hockey players are ruining it. Every time I start my
yeah, another New York accent little bear named Nancy. She clearly has 5 o'clock shadow, and she's going to be dancing on the ice while these hockey players are going to be, getting in her way. they look completely different than the ones we saw at Colossus and Spyro 2, because these ones are Rhinox. I wonder if the people on Insomniac Games really hated the sport of hockey. Maybe this is their way of saying it was a bad sport. They just use Spyro as a way to depict their hatred for the game. At least that's what it seems like here. Make it seem like they actually prefer the much more peaceful sport of figure skating. Then again, hockey was portrayed as being a peaceful sport in Spyro 2. I remember in Colossus, they meant that one of the guys in Colossus mentioned that's a peaceful sport. I know those guys from Crystal Glacier also liked watching it too. You must rescue our leader, Shaman Tuck. He has our tickets in for tonight's game in the Colossus Valley or something like that. Hey, dragon. I'm gonna fry these guys. The Spyro getting involved in the action. It's like some sort of figure skating act that involves Spyro flaming stuff. Spyro was involved in Olympic figure skating. I'd love to go watch Olympic figure skating. Figure skating live! Who would go to that? You would! We're all going, just like when we all went to go see Good Burger on Ice. I wish Good Burger on Ice were a real thing. I'd pay a lot of money to go see that. To go see Keenan and Kel dancing on the ice and serving burgers to people while trying to sabotage Mondo Burger. It's trying to sabotage them.
Why don't you have it?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. How can I take your order? Oh, we rescued an egg named Cerny. I guess it's named after Mark Cerny, because he supposedly did work on this game.
They're in the next Olympics.
Well, yeah, the next Olympics. I guess I'll see you in whenever the next Winter Olympics are going to be. I don't want to make a joke about that. They'll become dated pretty soon. Most of my jokes do get dated pretty quickly. Just watch some of my earlier YouTube videos that aged like milk. Those guys, I guess, ran those guys over. Because those guys have, heat shielding on the metal shielding. I'm going to destroy that ice thing and blast these guys out of the sky. Those bird things. Birdies. Yeah, it looks like we're playing Duck Hunt, but we're doing it in a cannon. And this is still a lot more playable than Duck Hunt, since I can't really play that game anymore because I don't have a TV it's compatible with it anymore. It only really worked on CRTVs that were made in the 80s or 90s. Just something I don't really have much anymore. And my grandma had a Sony Trinitron from 2006. I don't think I ever tried playing Duck Hunt on that thing. It was made in 2006, in a time when TVs didn't really have HDMI ports yet. But at the same time, it's not really like a vintage 90s TV anymore either, so it's kind of like an odd void. But I do remember seeing how vivid Bubsy 3D looked on that screen. Apparently Bubsy 3D is the most the most smoothest and most sharpest in terms of picture quality. It's the sharpest most game on the PS1 simply because it doesn't have a lot of textures in it. I would have guessed that one of the worst looking games on that system has the best frame rate or the best picture sharpness or something like that. It was in Bubsy 3D of all games. I don't really hate that game. I actually kind of like that game. I probably will do a Let's Play of it eventually. I heard Bubsy recently got Bubsy 4D, which is actually pretty good. I'll be buying that one for my birthday pretty soon. And I'll probably be Let's Playing that one eventually too. Becomes the newest game I've ever played. And the newest game I'll probably ever Let's Play too. And this channel, since most of my games that I Let's Play on this channel were made in most of the games I Let's Play on this channel were made before 2010 or so. Very rare for me to play a game or Let's Play a game made after 2010. Some people don't even consider those to be video games. Like a lot of kids that think new movies are automatically better than old movies. And don't really consider old movies to be, real movies. I don't really consider old music to be real music. I knew a kid in middle school that hated that hated music made before 2009 or so, or 2010. Doesn't consider 80s stuff to be real music because it was made in the 80s, back when things sucked. We're just gonna be running after this red guy. Those thieves from Spyro 1 are back in this game. Yeah, so much reminiscing of Spyro 1. That's one of the most common themes we'll be coming across in this game. He's right there. The red guy is right there in front of us. We still continue to chase after him. And there we go, we got him. Scout. They just named the egg Scout. Like it's gonna be scouting around. Maybe secretly Michael Jackson, who knows? There's gonna grow up to be the Michael Jackson of of dragons. Again, I'm pretty sure we saw other dragons that were like that too, so I guess there's more of them. They're more common than we realize. Almost as common as people trying to buy Mario games on non-Nintendo systems. You're collecting those gems that are in here, those hidden stash of gems. I think there's some other hidden gems too. Ah, there they are. There's some other gems. I think that's all or most of the gems in this level at this point. And the only way you can really exit this segment is to exit the way you came from, which is, well, is to locate that hidden door. It seems to be hidden, but it will take us back to the main level. They really went overboard with some of the mini games or some of these kinds of segments in this game. I mean, it's impressive, but sometimes it seems kind of unnecessary. Spyro 2 never did anything like this. And Spyro 2 was really good. There we go, there's the entrance. It's kind of hard. Yeah, there we go. Back at the entrance. Which is also the exit. Entered where you exited. Yeah, we have 48 eggs. I forget how many eggs there were in this game in total. But there's quite a lot more eggs in this game than there were of orbs in Spyro 2. Again, Spyro 2 also had talismans, which are completely absent in this game. Yeah, now he's going to confess that it was him that set up all those ice blocks everywhere to prevent him from going ice fishing. He's going to say, oh, you could come fishing with us. It almost seems like Insomniac Games secretly want to put a fishing segment in this. But then they remembered when Sonic Adventure did that a year before and everyone hated that. It's like they scrapped it, and yet they still left mention of it in the final game. Ray Phoenix, signing out.